In the tropics, we are now putting much more attention on what is now Tropical Storm Fred, the sixth named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, just south of the coast of Puerto Rico. Right now, maximum wind 40 miles an hour, so it's not a strong storm, but it did finally get a complete circulation, and the motion is westward at 17. Now, not that it's directly coming here that anyone can say, but this is 1,600 miles away from Mobile. So still a lot of mystery as to what it could be if it comes directly here. But as you've been seeing the last couple of days, the trends on computer models all take it west-northwestward, just north of Cuba, just north of Haiti, through the Dominican Republic, and then put it either directly on South Florida or into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. And for us, that means we have to watch it. Even if it doesn't come directly here, it may be big enough or have impact enough that it will impact us. Now focus on the 5-day forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center for the center of the storm. The first 3-4 days, really no big change in the overall wind speed. 40 miles an hour or so. It may go back to tropical depression, then back to tropical storm. But the area that we watch much more closely is what happens as it approaches South Florida. Now, if it hits the Florida Peninsula and stays on a more eastward track, the maximum wind may not be as high as you see projected here. If it stays in the Gulf and doesn't have land really impacting it, by 7 o'clock Saturday evening, winds could be to 50 miles an hour. By 7 o'clock Sunday evening, maximum wind up to 65 miles an hour. And that Sunday portion of the forecast cone, that goes into east central Alabama, South Georgia, all of North Florida, and certainly most of the NBC 15 area. So that's the part we really have to look at. If it's a perfect forecast, the center of the storm would be in the center of that cone. But remember, 5 days away, 120 hours away, the average error, 230 miles in any direction. So this is why you've got to keep up with the forecast day by day. More importantly, I showed you that wind projection of 65 miles an hour. It could be 70, it could be 75, it could be 80, it could be 60, 55, or 50, just based on average errors. And that also means you've got to watch it carefully. Yes, it could be a hurricane. Yes, it could be a weaker tropical storm. And yes, it may stay away if we are lucky. But right now, these are all possibilities. Go back to this season so far. These are the tracks of storms that bothered us. Elsa, you'll recall, passed just to our east. Claudette passed just to our west. In the bigger picture, that right there is Fred. But compare it to Kevin and Linda in the Pacific and a tropical disturbance in the Pacific. And relatively speaking, it's not a big system. Behind it, way out in the Atlantic, another tropical disturbance. And that disturbance on the heels of Fred. Now keep in mind, it's well over 1,000 miles away from Fred. It's going to approach the Caribbean with a 30% chance of becoming a tropical system. The message is hurricane season has now really kicked in. We have to watch it as carefully as we watch our afternoon radar. A flood advisory continues for northern Okaloosa and Santa Rosa counties as the thunderstorms head through Pensacola, heading toward Baldwin County, a sign of what you can expect in your 7-day tracker. Rain coverage the next 7 days, 40 to 50%, and the mystery will be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.